Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my knee. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof. Inflame. Kids these days so shameless. Selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though. I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. I should warn you though, if you haven't heard, I ain't no Colleen ukulele ballager. Shots been fired. Run and tell that. Say it to my face though. Now behind my back. Won't be long till you share it in the group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. That's ego, how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for clout, keep on going. Give you something you could talk about. Hello, everybody. How you doing this fine? Friday. Okay, I woke up literally at 3 o'clock this morning because I have my Sanskrit lesson. It is currently 8:17 p.m. Like, I'm usually getting ready for bed. Actually, like, had to redo my makeup just to come live. So, hello, hi, hello. The moment we've been waiting for has arrived, and I just simply couldn't wait I couldn't wait another moment. Okay, I could not wait another second. Before coming live on here and telling y'all about it. So, shout out to the cousins in the chat. The point and shoot lawsuit has dropped. Okay, it has dropped. Actually, it's dated as of like 2 days ago. So, and shout out to y'all. Y'all, my eyes are like watering because I've like just been like putting them through it today. Let me just pull up the lawsuit. So the lawsuit itself, like the actual complaint, is only a few pages long, like 13 pages or 11 or 10 or something. But then there's all these exhibits, and I've had a chance to kind of scroll through the exhibits, but to be honest, there's like email addresses unredacted and stuff, which it is a public record. But for that reason, I'm probably not going to go like, through each and every exhibit. However, I do want to at least read Skater Girl, you're funny. I do want to at least just, read the actual lawsuit to y'all. And then I don't know if Point and Shoot is going to be covering his own lawsuit or not. Most people don't. I'm kind of an outlier in that I did. But maybe he will. Maybe he will. But I at least wanted to come out here and announce like the lawsuit has dropped. See, what had happened was it was filed like last month, but then the government was on close down or something, shut down, and maybe it still is. And like for that reason, it was where it was like not going to be uploading stuff to the docket. So it was just like you could see where something had been filed, but it wasn't like downloadable or anything. You couldn't actually access the files. So finally I was able to do so. Today's the 7th, and this was dated 2 days ago in the system. So much must have hit the docket yesterday or today. I really don't know. But anyway, okay, so what is it? Okay, so Michael Winters, that's Point and Shoot, versus Troy Terrain. That's the I don't even remember his stupid name. What was it called? Something Star Report. Complaint for damages, and what are the causes of action? What are the things that Point and Shoot is accusing in court? What is he accusing Troy Terrain of doing? Two things. Number one, violating the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and also abuse of process. Okay, so those are the two things. The DMCA is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Oh, hold on, let me turn this fan off. And then abuse of process, meaning like basically like misusing the legal system unlawfully, or against statute rather. Now, as usual, disclaimer, all of these are allegations. I don't personally know exactly what went down with all of this stuff. That's why I gotta go to court and we gotta see. Okay. However, it did appear, and I've covered this issue, it did appear like Troy Terrain was doing some pretty detestable, admonishable activities. I will say that. Okay. So comes now Point and Shoot. That's plaintiff. So anytime you see plaintiff, that's going to mean Point and Shoot. By and through his lawyer for his complaint against Troy Terrain, who is defendant. So you'll see defendant, and that's going to be Troy Terrain, aka the Star Report. Okay. This action seeks to recover damages for knowing material misrepresentation, so basically lying, under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, arising from defendant as Troy Terrain's repeated and false Digital Millennium, I'm going to call it DMCA, takedown notices directed to YouTube. Okay, shout out YouTube. So basically, he's suing because, according to this allegation in the introduction, Troy Terrain lied to YouTube, pretty much. Acted like he owned some stuff he didn't own, and then here we are. Plaintiff, that's Point and Shoot, operates a satirical commentary channel focusing on hip hop culture, podcasts, and online media commentary. It's always funny to like try to define like what you do in a lawsuit when you're like trying to describe like what it is. That is true, but there's like infinite millions of ways you could describe it, and so I always just think it's funny to see how things are described, like YouTubers basically are described in lawsuits. His videos are original works, incorporating short factual clips and commentary protected under fair use. Defendant operates, so that's Troy Terrain, operates various online social media platforms and accounts, including a YouTube channel and associated social media accounts. Those are his accounts, the accounts. So anytime you see that accounts, that means that's corresponding with Troy Terrain's accounts. Troy Terrain knowingly submitted, and again, this is an allegation in a lawsuit, knowingly submitted false DMCA takedown notices and improper copyright claims, filings targeted at Point and Shoot's lawful fair use videos. Okay, so knowingly submitted false DMCA takedown requests. Okay, Point and Shoot. Okay, and then we got Troy Terrain. All right, jurisdiction. Well, they could hear it in California. Okay. So these are the facts, and this is the facts section. Again, this is in a lawsuit. I'm not purporting that these are necessarily facts. This is just the section of the lawsuit called facts. Plaintiff operates a YouTube channel, okay, that produces satirical commentary on hip hop culture, online personalities, and podcast content. His videos use short portions of publicly available media solely for commentary, criticism, and parody, all of which constitute transformative use and are protected under the fair use doctrine set forth in the United States Copyright Act. Beginning in January earlier this year, so almost a year ago, it's now November, defendant, that's Troy Terrain, initiated a campaign of harassment against Point and Shoot. How did he do this? Well, it was by filing a series of false and repetitive DMCA takedown notices targeting plaintiff's videos, targeting Point and Shoot's videos. Each notice that Troy Terrain, Star Report guy gave, asserted ownership of materials that Troy Terrain neither authored nor licensed. So he was saying he owned stuff that he did not own and he didn't have license to. He was just claiming to own stuff. Remember he said like he owned like part of the New York Times, a picture that somebody from the New York Times actually owned or whatever. These takedowns were knowingly false and designed to silence Point and Shoot's commentary and injure his channel. Around the same time, Troy Terrain and his representative, Amy Media. Oh, girl. Okay, Amy-Media is a representative of Troy Terrain, apparently. This is probably in those emails. And again, I'm probably not bringing them up because I don't want to show somebody's email address or whatever. Like, I'm not in the mood right now. Okay, I'm just not in the mood for it. Okay. What is going on with this girl? Get it together. Okay. So Troy Terrain and this Amy Media person apparently sent a series of threatening emails to Point and Shoot demanding that he remove all references to Troy Terrain from his videos. And in those allegedly threatening emails, there was a warning that he would be instructed via the legal process if he failed to comply. These communications conditioned withdrawal of the DMCA strike on plaintiff's agreement to delete or edit content critical of defendant, demonstrating that defendant's true intent. Okay. What was his true intent according to this lawsuit? Troy Terrain's true intent was to suppress Point and Shoot's protected speech. It wasn't to protect any copyright interest because he didn't even own that stuff. He was just threatening. That's what's being said here. On April 14th, earlier this year, 2025, Troy Terrain engaged in obstructive communications with the Copyright Claims Board, refusing to complete the standard waiver of service of process, citing legal reasons, and copying the board on unnecessary correspondence. These actions served no legitimate purpose other than to delay the proceeding and exert pressure on Point and Shoot. So like a week later or whatever, April 21st, Point and Shoot filed and YouTube processed a former counter notification. Okay, so he did his counter notification, his counterclaim saying, excuse me, no, you don't own this stuff. What are you talking about? No. He asserted that he had fair use rights and he identified his California address. Oh, hold on. Are they about to? Oh, wait, hold on. Are they about to introduce Poetic Falaka's prescription pants? Okay, anyway. Defendant had actual knowledge that plaintiff was a California resident, but continued directing his actions toward California, including additional DMCA filings. Okay, so this is a jurisdictional argument. Okay, Poetic Flacco didn't enter the chat. But these were communications which were, he continued to direct communications and actions toward California, including the DMCA filings, including communications directed toward Point and Shoot. On May 1st, 2025, plaintiff's then counsel, so this is no longer Point and Shoot's lawyer, this was the previous lawyer, sent a cease and desist to Troy Terrain. This was in May. This was concerning Troy Terrain's prior communications, which were described previously as threatening. On May 7th, 2025, so like about a week later, Troy Terrain responded directly, stating, "Proceed at your own peril." He was threatening peril upon Point and Shoot and his lawyer, according to this lawsuit. I don't know, I wasn't there. He was referencing the ongoing the Copyright Claims Board matter. Okay, so the next month, now we're in July, the Claims Board dismissed Troy Terrain's claim. They said, no, it's dismissed. Why? Because he did not properly even serve notice on Point and Shoot. So he didn't even follow the basic, service requirements. And then the claims were released. Well, despite that dismissal, Troy Terrain, and this is where he really started acting extremely insane, in my opinion. Despite that being dismissed, he could have just went on and ate his food. You know what I mean? He could have continued on with his life and just been whatever. We're just gonna call it a day on that. No harm, no foul, or whatever. No. That's not what he did. He continued to escalate his conduct. Then we skip forward 2 months. Now we're in September. He sent plaintiff another threatening email. He sent Point and Shoot another threatening email stating that he could refile his case again next week and conditioning resolving this issue on Point and Shoot removing his videos again. So here we are again. He's saying again, I can make this all go away if you just stop making videos about me or whatever. These acts show defendant, that's Troy Terrain's, continued use of legal threats to coerce censorship. Woo, golly, I wish this lawyer would take my case. My God. Rather than to vindicate any legitimate copyright interest. Throughout 2025, this year, Troy Terrain, oh boy, here it is, boys. Pack it up. No jumper. Adam 1622 Grain Mason of Nashua has entered the chat. At least his podcast has. Throughout 2025, Troy Terrain has coordinated with California-based individuals, including those affiliated with the podcast No Jumper. Why were they affiliating? Not affiliating. Why? Yeah. Why was he coordinating with these individuals according to this lawsuit? Well, it was to, quote, amplify false claims and orchestrate additional reputational attacks. See, this is interesting to me. He's not suing for RICO and he's not suing for defamation. And I mean, I think Troy Terrain better be happy that he's not. Because look at this. To amplify false claims and orchestrate additional reputational attacks throughout 2025, according to this lawsuit, Troy Terrain has coordinated with California-based individuals, including those affiliated with No Jumper. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Troy Terrain's conduct was willful, knowing, and calculated to interfere with Point and Shoot's livelihood as a YouTube creator. As a result of these repeated false filings and harassing communications, Point and Shoot's videos were removed for extended periods, causing loss of advertising revenue, decreased audience engagement, reputational harm, and emotional distress, as well as the risk of permanent loss of his channel. And that's true. If you get 3 strikes, then you pretty much are guaranteed to lose your channel. First cause of action is the knowing material misrepresentation. Point and Shoot repeats and incorporates by reference the allegations contained in the preceding paragraphs. According to the statute, any person who knowingly, materially misrepresents that certain material or activity is infringing shall be liable. So basically, if you lie about something infringing a copyright, like you say you own a copyright or you say that something infringes your copyright, then it better. Because if you know that you're not telling the truth about it, you can be liable or shall be liable for damages, including costs and attorney's fees. And this is where it's going to hurt. This is where it's going to hurt. Defendant knowingly and materially misrepresented attorney's fees. Troy Terrain is going to be on the hook for attorney's fees if he loses this. Who really needed to proceed at their own peril? 420 in the chat. Who really needed to proceed at their own peril? Because it needed to be him, it sounds like, because now he's on hook for attorney's fees. It says he knowingly and materially misrepresented that Point and Shoot's videos infringed Troy Terrain's copyrights when he had no ownership interest in that material at all, and he had no authorization to claim such rights. Ooh. Defendant failed to consider the doctrine of fair use before issuing his takedown notices. This was a direct violation of the requirement recognized in a previous case having to do with Universal Music Group. Ooh. Defendant's actions as Troy Terrain were willful, malicious, and intended to suppress lawful speech. I mean, I find it to be a very compelling argument so far. Myself, I'm buying the argument. I mean, I'm biased, but I mean, it all tracks to me. He didn't even own a picture that he said he owned. And he got somebody's whole entire video removed. And then it was in this stupid little copyright court for like months and months and months. It's been like an all-year ordeal. I think that's material. And if he didn't even own that picture, and then also remember, Point and Shoot actually got permission from the person who took the picture. Remember that? The person who took the picture, the photojournalist, gave him explicit written permission to use the picture. And then Troy Terrain still wouldn't let up on his allegedly false copyright claim. Oh my God, I cannot wait to see how he responds to this. It's going to be so funny. He was trying to suppress free speech as a direct and proximate result of Troy Terrain's conduct. Point and Shoot suffered damages, including but not limited to lost income, reputational harm, emotional distress, and attorney's fees. He is now entitled to actual damages, costs, attorney's fees, and any other relief that the court deems just and proper. Okay, so what's the second cause of action? The second cause of action is kind of like malicious prosecution or abuse of process, basically like misusing the legal system, getting the courts involved in something they shouldn't have gotten involved in the first place. Plaintiff incorporates allegations above. Defendants filing, so that's Troy Terrain, filing DMCA lawsuits in the CCB board for the purpose of seeking to avoid plaintiff having the ability to have his videos reinstated is improper, and that constitutes an abuse of process. Oh my God. So technically what they're arguing here, Point and Shoot is arguing through his lawyer, is that by Troy Terrain filing them silly little copyright review board BS, he was abusing the legal system. He was also abusing Point and Shoot's free speech rights with the legal system. So these are things that are not allowed. This is not allowed. It's not allowed. These are the allegations. I don't know. I wasn't there. We're going to have to see how it goes in court. We're going to have to see how the depositions go. Their abuse of process, the defendant. Why is he saying they? I thought it was just one. It's just one. It's saying they, like it's more than one defendant. Their abuse of process was done intentionally and for an improper purpose. Such actions wasted judicial and administrative resources of California, of the Sheriff's Department, and the CCC board, the CCB board, where an injunction could not be issued. They then presented those Copyright Claims Board filings to YouTube, falsely purporting that they did this in compliance with DMCA statutes, but this was a lie when they said it to YouTube. That's what's being argued here. They did this. Troy Terrain, I don't know who they is. I think, it's just Troy Terrain, did this knowingly or in a position where he should have known. This wasn't the proper way to handle these issues. It also adds to the bad faith claim. He's therefore liable for damages, and Point and Shoot is demanding a trial by jury. Respectfully requests that the court enter a judgment against Troy Terrain, finding that the defendant, Troy Terrain, violated the Copyright Act and should therefore be awarded damages and monetary relief as follows. First of all, for a finding, what does Point and Shoot want? What's he asking the judge for? Number one, for a finding that Troy Terrain knowingly and materially misrepresented plaintiff's videos were infringing. So he knowingly and materially misrepresented that he owned this stuff. He didn't own it and all that. And so number one, the Point and Shoot is asking for a simple finding of such fact. Number two, for a finding that Troy Terrain has abused the legal process and also has to pay damages in attorney's fees for his willful violation. 444 in the chat. For an award, also, he's asking the judge for an award of actual damages suffered by plaintiff. Woo! How are they going to figure that out? I don't know, but that could be a lot of money. Because basically this is the lost earnings, because what Point and Shoot has said in the past publicly is that he was kind of like not scared. I don't know if that was that's not the exact word, but like kind of like didn't really want to post any other videos because he didn't want to have he did not want to have another false, fraudulent, phony strike that was going to take his channel down. He actually ended up having to make a whole entire new channel because I'm assuming because of the fear that he might get, it's like, you ever heard anybody say, get your channel nuked? He's probably scared he's getting his channel nuked. So he's going to be able to say, look how often I was posting videos before this all started. And look how the videos went down to nothing after I was so concerned that I was going to lose my channel. I even had to start a new channel. Interesting to say the least. And an amount to be proven at trial. He also wants an order enjoining Troy Terrain from ever being able to submit another false or bad faith DMCA takedown. Now, if I am Point and Shoot, like if I'm putting myself into his mindset, this seems to be like the real reason why he had to sue. Because no matter what's going to stop Troy Terrain from doing this again? What's going to stop him from doing it as soon as Point and Shoot wants to exercise his free speech rights? What's to stop Troy Terrain from just doing this again and again and again, like he has done it again and again and again? So one of the things that Point and Shoot is asking for is an injunction. He wants a court to tell Troy Terrain he cannot do this anymore. You cannot submit another false or bad faith DMCA takedown notice targeting Point and Shoot's lawful works And also, he needs to be enjoined, basically barred by the court from abusing the proper legal processes. Now, what I will say is, I mean, he's already like, nobody's allowed to abuse the process, but I could see why Point and Shoot wants, and I could see the legal basis. I mean, we'll have to see, how it all goes in court and everything, but I could see the legal basis in needing this injunction because it doesn't look like he's gonna stop. It sure doesn't. It sure doesn't. He also, okay, look at this. Not just the attorney's fees, but also he's asking for the reasonable costs of litigation. So all the filing fees and everything like that. Also wants pre and post judgment interest. Get it. I mean, get it. Look, somebody has to hold these people to account, or else they just continue to just bully and bully and bully and act a fool. And it's like, people got to learn how to act. And like I said, I'm biased because I I like Point and Shoot. I am scrolling through the next couple pages of what's attached. Okay, so the first so the excuse me. The first exhibit here is just the copyright strike, which he has shown before. It's an email from YouTube. Hi, your video has been removed due to a copyright removal request that we received. Your video will be taken down. Poetic Falaco and DJ Star are trying to take me down. The contact, oh my God, the contact info. Oh my God, what a loser. Not Point and Shoot. Okay, so another one, he's got the other. Okay, look, attached as an exhibit to this lawsuit, one of the videos, Adam22 turns his back on Brick Baby and says he's cut off. This was a video that Troy Terrain copyright struck. And I'm actually really, really glad. I'm actually really glad this is also happening because I've seen a lot of DJ Vlad types act like they're going to all of a sudden start copyright striking people. And it's like, I think that this is what they had up their sleeve. I think this has actually been being used against people already. And I think that it's very good that someone's getting sued over it, not only just for this one situation, but for like all of us. I mean, like if anybody that's making videos on YouTube probably should cover this case. And like, even if you like this Troy Terrain character or whatever, like you should probably all agree this shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to copyright strike somebody's video because they have used a picture of you that the New York freaking Times owns. That's ridiculous. You shouldn't be able to do that. In fact, and indeed, you're not allowed to do that. So I'm glad somebody's getting sued because I remember that very ominous, like almost threatening, in my opinion, DJ Vlad interview where he was like, watch how I'm going to start copyright striking people. And it's just like, dude, chill out. Like, you ain't fitting to start doing nothing because this going to happen to you too. You're going to owe somebody else. You're going to owe somebody attorney fees. I mean, to my knowledge, I don't know if he's done it. He's never copyright struck anything for me. I have used a little bit of his content from time to time sprinkled in. All of it has been fair use, but I was just like, please, this is such a silly and like non-serious, like this copyright claim review board thing. I got this other email up. Attention, Michael Winters. This is from Amy-Media, whoever in the hell that is. It says, as it stands, you will be instructed next week via the legal process. I remain available. Amy-Media. Okay, listen to what Point and Shoot said. I will not be removing anything from the video. It is protected by fair use. I recommend that you comply with the law. Ooh, this was January. This is an email from Point and Shoot. I'm not going to pull it up again because the emails are visible, even though this is a public record. I'm not going to pull it up here. But he said, I ain't removing nothing from this video. I recommend you comply with the law and reinstate my video. Remove that fraudulent strike. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of embellishments here, but what it says is, quote, it is protected by fair use. I recommend that you comply with the law and reinstate my video. It will greatly benefit you. That's what Point and Shoot had said. Also, making threats to sue someone is perfectly legal, as you already know. And making demands and a threat to sue is perfectly acceptable as well. You're literally threatening me with legal action as we speak unless I comply with your demands. Very foolish. If you reinstate my video today, so Point and Shoot said to him all the way back in January, if you just drop your silly little false claim, you will be acting in good faith and correcting your error. and the meritless legal action that you've taken against me, YouTube probably won't terminate your channel if you act in good faith. We'll see. That's another issue. Let's say that Troy Terrain loses this lawsuit. He could lose his channel. I mean, does it violate the terms and services? Because he did promise to YouTube that he was telling the truth. I don't know if you've ever had a copyright claim anything online or whatever, but like when you go to try to copyright something, copyright claim these DMCA things, especially on YouTube, they make you agree to all kind of stuff. They make you like sign your name and say that you own it for sure, and it's penalty of, perjury, whatever it is. I don't know perjury, but he just posted the clip again on Facebook and said, "Go ahead and sue me twice, MFer." Well, I don't know who's suing who, but I don't know what you're talking about on this one. He's posted it and said, "Sue me twice," but this lawsuit isn't about something that it's not point and shoot getting. I don't know what this means. Okay. Anyways, because what's next? YouTube probably won't terminate your channel if you act in good faith. Thanks. Another thing that another one of the exhibits attached here is Troy Terrain. I assume you are the person with respect to the YouTube counter notification. If you are seeking to resolve this matter, please refrain from making further threats during this exchange. It was just too much. Who is Amy Media? Please. Point and Shoot tells him back, this is clear abuse of the copyright system. So they go back and forth. Okay, so this is just exhibits here. We also have the actual email to the CCB staff. Thank you for reaching out. For legal reasons, the respondent will have to wait until I confirm address. Whatever that is. So it's just like silly little emails. Another copyright claim, another counter notification. Thank you for submitting your counter notification. There was a cease and desist sent. This I think I can pull up. Yeah, okay. I can pull this up. Okay, this was the cease and desist from April. Fraudulent DMCA takedowns, misrepresentations, and retaliatory copyright abuse. Dear Troy Terrain, I represent Point and Shoot, professionally known as Point and Shoot, who has retained my office in response to your ongoing and blatantly fraudulent abuse. Oh my God. And blatantly fraudulent abuse of the DMCA takedown process. This letter constitutes formal notice that your conduct is unlawful, retaliatory, and will no longer be tolerated. Let's start with the obvious. Woo, okay. Did he go to the Mark Agnifilo School of Writing? Let's start with the obvious. Point and Shoot's content is fair use. It is commentary, criticism, and transformative under the United States Copyright Act, Section 107, and therefore it's not subject to your petty, vindictive copyright claims. Oh my gosh, this former lawyer went off. You may not like being called out, exposed, or critiqued, but that doesn't give you the legal right to attempt to silence criticism through false copyright assertions. In short, hurt feelings are not copyright infringement. Oh, fire. But perhaps most comically egregious is your most recent stunt, filing a copyright strike against Point and Shoot for including a screenshot of a New York Times article that featured a publicly available photograph of you in handcuffs. Oh, that's what he didn't want out. He copyright struck it because he just didn't want everybody to see the photo, probably. Outside the first precinct in Tribeca following your arrest. That image was taken by photojournalist Hiroko Masuiki, not you. You're not even the copyright holder. Oh. You are not even the copyright holder. Yeah, yet you claimed infringement? Newsflash, Mr. Terrain. Oh my gosh, this lawyer is scrappy. You don't own photos just because you're in them, stupid. He didn't say stupid, but that's the tone. That's the tone I'm getting. If that were the standard, every mug shot on Google would come with royalty rights. Moreover, in an act of remarkable irony, Mr. Winters obtained an explicit written permission from the actual copyright holder herself to use the photo. Yes, I have the screenshot. No, you can't DMCA that. Ooh, what happened to this lawyer? He was scrappy. Let's review. Oh, let's review, Mr. Torrain. You filed a copyright claim on a photo you didn't. You filed a copyright claim on a photo you didn't take, you don't own, and you have no rights to. That photo was part of a clearly transformative work of commentary. Even if fair use didn't apply, which it does, actual permission was given by the photographer. So, what exactly are you asserting the ownership of, Mr. Torrain? The handcuffs? Oh, no, that was for the police or the marshals or whoever. Your repeated bad faith takedowns are a textbook violation of United States Copyright Act, which makes it a federal offense to know it. Woo! Yikes. An offense? A federal one? A federal offense? Uh-oh. To knowingly misrepresent material as infringing. Courts have held, in this Universal Music case, that fair use must be considered before filing a takedown. Fair use must be considered before filing a takedown. Oh, this is a legal requirement that you continue to flagrantly ignore. This letter constitutes your final warning. Ooh. You are hereby directed to immediately cease and desist from filing any further copyright strikes, DMCA takedown notices, or other malicious false claims against Point and Shoot. Retract all copyright claims that you have submitted against him and his YouTube channel, and provide written confirmation of compliance within 5 business days of this letter. Let me be clear. This correspondence, along with the screenshots, evidence of your false claims, and the photographer's permission email is all being forwarded directly to YouTube's legal department. Uh-oh. Ooh. Your behavior constitutes repeat abuse of the DMCA system, and I am formally requesting that YouTube investigate and potentially restrict your ability to submit further takedown notices. Should you fail to comply, we will pursue all available remedies. Now, this was back in April. In other words, all bold, stop filing fraudulent claims or get very comfortable explaining yourself to a judge and to YouTube. Wow. Shaheen is not playing around. Okay, he is not. Now, he is no longer the lawyer in here anymore. Is Point and Shoot in here? Oh my God, shout out to the cousin in the chat. He's here. He's here. He's arrived. King of YouTube is here, okay? And his lawyer had some things to say back in April. All right. The lawyer got some things to say in federal court now, too. Sure does. Shout out to Point and Shoot in the chat. Okay. Here's the author. Here's the excuse me. I keep saying author because it was an article, but she was the photojournalist, Hiroko Masuiki. Hello, Mr. Who's that? Oh, that was the lawyer. That was Point and Shoot's lawyer. Thank you for your email. Although, as I'm sure you're aware, I do not have to give your client permission to use this particular image because it's fair use. But to hopefully help you and your client overcome the claim made on this image, I give your client permission to use the image in his video. Sure, go ahead. So there's that. Oopsie. Oh my gosh, he was sassy. Okay, so I can't show it because it has the emails all up and stuff, but the lawyer emailed again. This is in May. The deadline remains the same, Mr. Terrain. And I genuinely, this is what Point and Shoot's lawyer had said to Troy Terrain. I genuinely hope you disregard the deadline so I can make an example out of you in court. Be advised, we will be requesting attorney's fees in addition to actual and punitive damages. I implore you to actually hire an attorney so you do not continue to make a fool of yourself on record. Ouch. Ouchie. That was in response to, as you should know, your client and I are currently in a legal proceeding. When the matter is fully resolved, I'll be more than happy to engage with you. Also, and for the record, my daughter tried to resolve the initial discrepancy with Mr. Winters, but instead he berated her with insults. Now he's sending his daughter to solve things. He needs a lawyer. Oh my God, this is so funny. This is what he had said first. Troy Terrain was like, my daughter tried to file this, tried to resolve this with Mr. Waters, but he chose to berate her with insults, threats, and promises of further harassment. Proceed at your own peril. To that email is the one that Point and Shoot's lawyer said, I implore you to actually hire an attorney. Your daughter ain't going to cut it. I implore you to hire an attorney so you do not continue to make a fool of yourself on record. And here we are on record. It's in exhibits now. Whoops. Oh my Lord. They got the copyright claim board thing on here. So it's just, yeah, pretty much that. I think most of this stuff, Point and Shoot has gone over on his channel to some extent. He berated 0 people. He did not berate anybody. I mean, the closest he came to berating was saying somebody had prescription pants, and it's probably a fact. It's at least from a special store. It's over the counter. It's at least over the counter pants. In my opinion, I don't know. Shout out to Free Bird RV Journeys. Thank you for the $2 super chat. And thank you for the $2 super chat again. Good evening, cousins. It's late. I know it's good. Yeah, it is late. It's way past my bedtime. Well, it's approaching my bedtime now, but I woke up so early today. Thanks so much, Ashley, becoming a member again. Thanks so much, Kells on Earth, renewing your membership. Point of Shoe said I did not berate. I strongly advised and warned thoroughly. And these emails are in here. I just didn't read all the different emails. We can do another live where we can go through the emails and I can, respond and like react to them and stuff. But again, they just had all the like actual email addresses on there. So I didn't want to, I know they out themselves. I don't want to show anybody's email addresses and stuff because you see how they'll file a false claim on you. So I didn't want my stuff claimed. Hold on, looking something up. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like we've been hearing about like maybe there's going to be a lawsuit for several months. What has it been since July, maybe May? And then like as soon as it was filed, the government like basically shut down or whatever. And then they were just not putting the video out. I mean, not the video. They were not putting the lawsuit out. And I was just like wanting to read it. And so finally like seeing like this lawsuit actually hit the docket was kind of surreal. I was like, I immediately need to come and make a video about this, a live about this immediately. I'm checking something in the back end. I was gonna send y'all to Tufstino, but he's not live yet. I'm gonna oh wait, hold on. Chief Bennett said, BJ, I need you to know DJ Vlad is suing someone with a public document. Joyner Lucas. Wait, Joyner Lucas. Wait, where have I seen that name like today? Joyner Lucas. Who said that name? Y'all, it's feeling like it was like a 3-day long day. He's a rapper? But I feel like I just heard that name for some reason. Why? DJ Vlad Joyner Lucas. Let me look it up. And it was for public. Oh, it was a day ago? Oh my God. I did not know that he did this. He's been threatening to do this. Wow. I spoke too soon. Oh, that's what you were doing? Okay, maybe that. Y'all, I don't know. I'm a little bit halfway brain dead. Thanks so much, Point and Shoot, for the $19.99 super chat. Shout out to all the YouTubers out here who get bullied by false copyright strikes and legal threats. We will not go quietly into the night. No, we will not. Rage into that good morning or whatever it is. Yes, I will. We gonna get it cracking, BJ. You got acted. I gotta act. Yes. Okay, I'll act out the DJ Vlad lawsuit. Oh my God. I didn't even know about this. Maybe I did. Somebody said it earlier. I mean, it's all kind of like coming together now. I didn't know who Joyner Lucas is. DJ Vlad files lawsuit against Joyner Lucas over copyrighted clip. Vladimir escalates situation into lawsuit after Joyner Lucas denies the interview. Oh, I'm not even showing y'all. Hold on. Let me pull up the article I'm actually reading. filed a federal lawsuit against Joyner Lucas, accusing him of copyright infringement after Lucas allegedly posted DJ Vlad interview clip without permission. This is nuts. This is crazy. Okay, let me hear more. Maybe let me hear more info. I mean, the way it's being framed is it's just a clip. According to an exclusive report from All Hip Hop's Grouchy Greg, Vlad is seeking up to $150,000 in damages. He's crazy. I gotta see more. I definitely need to read that one because I need to see what he's alleging. Because some people really do just like use content and like over and over and over, and they don't do any comment. I've never heard of this person. It's a rapper though. Seems like he just posted a clip. The lawsuit requests a full accounting of any profits. Listen, Vladimir has been threatening for a while that he's going to do this. He has been threatening for a while. He's going to do this. We'll see. We'll see. He said that to Adam Grandmason. Vlad, whose real name is Vladimir Lubovny and owns Hot and it just says Vlad, but surely it has to be Vladimir or something. Just Vlad. The parent company of Vlad TV claims Lucas posted a 5-minute segment from the outlet's popular interview series to his X account on July 6th. He claims he intentionally cropped out Vlad's watermark. DJ Vladimir has discussed. Vladimir Luobnovny has definitely discussed in the past that he don't like it when people take out his watermark. He don't like that. He takes it personal. And he failed to give him credit. Credit. My little 5-minute clip. Now I'm going to spend money on lawyers that I'm never going to get back. I'm going to spend more on lawyers than I'm even suing for just because. You posted 5 minutes in my video. I mean, that's kind of like, is this what happens when men don't have to hunt for their food no more? I'm just curious. I think it may be. When men don't have to worry about like primal things like hunting for their food or like taking care of, I don't know, man things, they suing each other over 5-minute clips on Twitter. Maybe I'm wrong. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm right. Put a 1 in the chat if this is what happens when men don't have to hunt for their food no more. Because this is like very temper tantrum. A 5-minute clip on Twitter, really, and you want to get into somebody's books and records? Shut up. Shut up, little girl. That is middle school little girl. Please. And this is off the rack Fendi. This is a man who wears off the rack Fendi, ill-fitting synthetic fabrics, and it's just giving no. It's giving not. It's giving not fiscally responsible, not frontal lobe responsible. I mean, I listen again. I haven't read the lawsuit. I'm gonna read it though. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike for reading a lawsuit. Ari Spears clowns British rappers. That blank sounds ridiculous. The lawsuit alleges Lucas uploaded the video to his 1.5 million followers, where it quickly gained viral traction, 4 million views, 2,800 reposts, 20,000 likes, and then it was removed following a DMCA takedown request. Now, look, listen, one thing I will say, Vladimir gets on my nerves, but he has made it very clear that he's going to be planning on doing this. He's made it very clear. So I would be getting a little nervous if my stuff was getting up to 4 million views. Vlad's legal team argues Lucas knowingly shared the copyrighted material to boost engagement on his platform and promote his music and merchandise. The suit also claims Lucas encouraged fans to repost the video, resulting in unauthorized distribution. However, in an unexpected twist, the complaint reveals that Vladimir initially sought to resolve the matter privately. He reportedly offered to drop legal claims in exchange for, oh my lord, he was going to say, okay, I won't sue you if you come on my channel and do me a little interview. Negotiations allegedly collapsed after Lucas's manager, Drove Joshi, sent an expletive-filled text message from Joyner's phone to Vlad's legal representative, to the lawyer, effectively shutting it down. Dear Vlad, S my D, call your attorney and do whatever you have to do. I wasn't ever doing an interview with you before in this lifetime, and you're definitely not getting an interview now. So settle your legal matters however you want to settle them. P word. I always thought you was a little bitch, but this just confirms the kind of beep you are. No way in this lifetime or the next will I ever allow someone like you to try to woo, he felt this. My God. Woo. Where's my church fan? He said, always thought you was a little beep, but this just confirms the kind of little beep you really are. No way in this lifetime or the next will I ever allow someone like you to try to extort me out of an interview. You got me all the way effed up. Oh, Hot in Here Inc. is now seeking damages and a court order preventing further use of its intellectual property. Look, I will say, legally, he probably has a case. I don't even know who Joyner is. I hope he makes a diss track about DJ Vlad. That'll be so funny. Give me a verse. Give me a verse. I'll talk about the off the rack Fendi. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Don't give me a verse. I don't know this. I don't know this person. Maybe I don't like him, but I definitely thought that was funny. I definitely thought that was funny. That email. But again, y'all, look, listen. The thing is, if you use 5 minutes of someone's copyrighted work and you take their watermark out and you just post it and you're like, everybody else needs to post it too, like, it can start to turn into grounds for like suing. Okay. Even if it's, it starts to turn into a situation where you're going to have to argue about it. So it is better. This is not legal advice, but it's better if you want to add a little commentary. You need to pause it every so often and say something about it. You need to transform it, not by just cutting out the watermark. But all that being said, get over, please. It's a 5-minute clip on Twitter. You don't have nothing else better to worry about. You want to spend the next 4 years arguing about that and going to depositions and everything for a stupid one thing on, just get it taken down. Why you have to go ahead and do the whole lawsuit. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. But at the same time, like, I don't really know how far they go back and what their history is. They might have some other issues. Thanks so much, Ashley, for the $4.99 super chat, threatening to sue after pestering him for a year in text messages for an interview. Okay, all right. So we're getting some more information here. Well, I'm getting more information. Y'all obviously already knew this, but Ashley is saying, Vlad was threatening to sue after pestering him to go on an interview. And he's like, I'm not going on an interview with you, freaking weirdo. I'll never go in this lifetime or the next, in any lifetime at all, in an interview with anybody like you. Y'all thought you was a B before, but now I really know you are, or whatever. I mean, oh my God, he went all the way off. He snapped. Thank you for the $4.99 and the additional context. Joyner Lucas is an extremely talented rapper. And DJ Vlad couldn't get him for an interview, so he sued him first. We should see if he'll do an interview with us. Okay, put a 1 in the chat. His Fresh Prince joint was epic. Oh, I need to see that. Oh, he has an ADHD song. Me and Point, put a 1 in the chat if Me and Point and Shoots. It should see if Joyner Lucas will come on our channel just for fun. Yeah, he's so funny. I agree. The sheriff is very funny. Okay, the people want it. A cameo, a little cameo. I just found out who he is right now, but listen, enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I'm not like really enemies with DJ Vlad, but it does aggravate me how he does copyright stuff. And like in this particular situation, maybe there's some type of grounds. Again, I'm just leaving that open as a possibility because I truly didn't read the complaint. I really don't know what happened. But that being said, yeah, I don't do interviews either, really. Someone's saying I haven't seen him do many interviews. What we could like just play like I don't know, like a card game or something. It doesn't have to be an interview. I really don't like interviewing people that much either, but sometimes I do. I was more just saying like interview to like, I don't know, maybe it would just be funny. Like, cause DJ Vlad wanted the interview so bad for him to go on a little nobody channel like me or, whatever. Obviously Point and Shoot is like the sheriff of YouTube. So maybe he would actually go over there, but not even for an interview, but just to make the point, just make the point. Why not? I mean, I don't know. It's just mostly to make the point. But anyway, I don't like how DJ Vlad acts with these copyright strikes and things in general. And that's why I had like a pre-existing sort of like preconceived notion or like a pre-existing bias, because I've seen him just act kind of bratty over like copyright stuff, like kind of giving like this what it starts to look like when men don't have to hunt for their food type of energy. Or maybe it's too much synthetic fabrics. I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. Thank you, chat. I feel the love. BJ stamped me when I had like 3K subs. She stuck her neck out for me before I even got my name. She understands things for real. Shout out to my cousin. Oh my God, I did. I think you were like at 11. Maybe I started following you at 3. I might have started following you at 3, actually. That's crazy. He's like, "No, I remember. It was 3." Well, 3 is my favorite number, so that's appropriate. But yeah, no, I mean, look, real he's like, "No, it definitely was." Real recognize real, okay, there's, like and I've told Point and Shoot this before. There's there's a certain type of person in the world, you may call it a polymath, you may call it a genius, you may call it, I don't know, something else, I don't know. But, that can really just do anything. Just give me a few days or whatever, and I could just do it. Like, I could fly a plane, I could do rocket science, I could run a whole production, I could do all of it. Now, is it gonna be, like, the best? No, but, like, I could do it good enough to get it done. And, like, there's a certain, like I can instantly recognize that in another person. Instantly recognize. You make one video, and I'm watching it, and I can just instantly tell. And I'm like, "Okay, this person is going places, and they're funny, and they're probably my cousin." And I'm not sure if it was, like, exactly that order. Um, it's called being blessed. Yeah, mhm, yep, yep, and that's the thing too, whenever you're, like, on the right path and you're doing the right thing, then, like, really nothing can, like, fully ever, like, really go wrong. Like, there can be little, like, bumps in the road and there can be, like, extreme mishaps, but, like, at the end of the day, like, you're gonna come out on top type of thing. But, like, no, yeah, I mean, when I saw the first video of Point and Shoot, I was like, "He's first of all, hilarious. Second of all, so talented, and why don't these videos have more views?" Like, it was just so obvious immediately. Obviously me and now obviously everybody agrees with me. He started a second channel and instantly got, like, 100,000 views on the first video he put out, rightfully so. Rightfully so. And so, circling back to him, um the laptops, oh my god, please. Circling back to him, shout out to him for actually getting this lawsuit filed, for actually standing up for not only his free speech rights, which obviously he had to do or else he was going to be continuing to be bullied into oblivion, but also standing up for all of our free speech rights, because this is gonna set a precedent. Don't be messing around acting stupid and acting crazy. It's gonna set a precedent. And the fact that Adam 2216 Grand Mason no jumper was listed in here, I mean, not as a defendant. I want to be very clear. He was not being sued, but, like, no jumper was listed. It was mentioned in this lawsuit as, like, kind of being collaborating to effectuate this infringement upon free speech. Looking not good, champ. On my soul. Okay, hold on. Let me see this. I just want to make sure that my cousin's not live right now, because I was gonna send y'all over there to him because he does lives on Friday nights. He said he was maybe gonna be going live. I don't know. Let me see. No, he's not. Okay, so you know what is going on right now that y'all might like? Alexa Nicholas, and this is something I want to, is premiering a series called Drake Bell versus the Internet. Is premiering right now. Aw, Point and Shoot said, BJ made me keep going when I had under 7K subs, so she obviously knows what's up. I made you how? I was forcing them. I'm just kidding. I'm glad you kept going, because it's, like, one of the best channels on YouTube, and you have definitely made a splat. You definitely over the target, because nobody gets gone after like this unless they are. Can tell you that. Can tell you that. And if anybody else wants to cover this lawsuit, y'all want to clip this, that's fine. I'm not going to DJ Vlad you. If you want to use this video, this content to spread the good word about the lawsuit, and yeah, don't anybody else thinking that they're going to be doing stuff like this. Now, you could get sued. And then guess what? Not just get sued. You could owe your attorney's fees, which you might not already be able to afford. Maybe you can. I don't know how you got it, but also the other person's. Y'all don't need to be out here doing all of that. Now we know. Yeah, glad you kept going, because now we know about the prescription pants. Woo, on my soul. Okay, I got y'all going over there to Alexa. She is my blood cousin at this point, so big shout outs to the chat. Thank you guys. I'm serious. Blood cousin. We could probably run the ancestry.com if I didn't think that they were going to sell our data somewhere or do something with it. He was getting sick last night. Oh no. Okay, so I don't know what's going on over there at the Drake Bell versus the internet, but there's like a 5-9 part series, something long thing coming out. It's gonna be episode after episode. So I'm gonna go check that out after this too and eat my little dinner and finally rest for, the night because I'm tired and I gotta do stuff tomorrow too. That's all I really had for this one. In the meantime, Facts Ain't Defamation. Go check out Point and Shoot over there and show him some support. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.